Hi, today I have a very special guest with me. She is known for her women's rights movements and her stand against slavery. Please welcome Sarah Grimke. Hi Sarah, how are
Hi,
you?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me.
So, and where were you born, and what was the time like around your childhood?
Well, I was born on November 26th in 1792 in Charleston, South Carolina. I was born on a plantation that owned many slaves, and my father, John Grimke, he believed that women should be subordinate to men. So I grew up immediately developing a strong hatred towards uh, women's rights and slavery.
Wow. What was your biggest concern?
My biggest concern was to end slavery, or at least limit slavery, and to stand for women's rights. My sister, Angelina Grimke, both converted to Quakerism from our other religion because it supported efforts to end slavery. And after many trips to Philadelphia, I became acquainted with the Society of Friends, and in 1821 I permanently left my hometown and I moved to Philadelphia and I became a member of the society, and my sister Angelina soon followed.
So, what were some actions that taken by you and your sister towards this problem?
My sister was the first step towards voicing our opposition towards slavery. She wrote a letter to William Lloyd Garrison, who printed the letter without her knowing in the Liberator, which was our first public opinions shown. And in 1836, we wrote a pamphlet called An Appeal to the Christian Women of the South, which urged women to use their moral force to end slavery and stand up for it. And then I wrote an epistle to the clergy of the southern states, and under the guidance of the American Anti-Slavery Society, Angelina and I began addressing small groups of women in their homes, which soon grew larger into crowds of women. And my sister and I continued our efforts towards women's rights when we released the Appeal to the Women of Normally Free States and the Equality of the Sexes and the Condition of Women.
Wow, you certainly accomplished a lot. There are definitely some challenges. What were some challenges that you had to overcome?
Some of the biggest challenges were after our first public opinions began to be shown in letters that we were writing, our hometown and our Quaker society began to limit us from being around them, and they actually cut off relationships with a lot of our Quaker relationships and pretty much banned us from our town. And people began to take violent actions as well, such as we spoke at the AASS annual Stand Against Slavery, and after that little congregation, they burned down the building that we were in.
And how did you overcome these obstacles?
Both my sister and I continued to speak out against slavery and stand for women's rights. And when the General Association of Congressional Ministers of Massachusetts issued a letter in 1837 that denounced women preachers and reformers, we began our fight for women's rights even stronger than we had before.
Wow. Thank you for coming today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.